Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with my daily theology lesson. It's my daily meditation that I do for myself. I record it and I release it because maybe somebody else out there could get something out of it. It just so happens that I love God and I love theology because I want to become a better principled person. Love God, choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve. You don't have to be perfect. No one is perfect, That doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with your consequences, good or bad, even if you love God. But if you love God, He'll just help you navigate through your difficulties, You don't have to be perfect. No one is. And love yourself. Because if you love yourself and no one else loves you, you'll be okay. Anyway, for those of you who are just tuning in, I focus out of three major religious texts: the Bible, the Quran, and I'm in an introductory Buddhist paperback called The Shape of Suffering. Without no this, there's no that. And everything we say and do has an effect on our senses. That's just to give you an idea. You can look it up. It deals with dependent co-arising. I try to rotate these texts at least twice a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how I'm led to meditate each day. I'm back in the rotation for the Quran. I'm still in chapter 3, but we're moving along. I'm reading all of these texts from cover to cover. I'm not going to edit any words, and I'm not leaving anything out. I just, when I first started the channel, I just kind of went here and there. A lot of times God led me to the Old Testament, but then He gave me an idea for how to structure these meditations. And so after the channel break from last fall in the winter, like around the holidays, when I came back off a channel break, then I had a schedule. So I started reading the Bible from the New Testament, and I'm going to read every chapter and just go back around until I get to the Old Testament. I'm going to read all the Old Testament. And so with the Quran, I'm reading it from cover to cover, Same with the introductory Buddhist text. I have like 3 different introductory texts from them, so I'm still in the first one. But we are moving along because I only read a little bit at a time. Okay, so we're in the Quran, and we're in chapter 3, section 15, verses 143 through 147. Sufferings to be met with perseverance. And Muhammad is but a messenger. Messengers have already passed away before him. If then he dies or is killed, will you turn your back upon your heels? And he who turns back upon his heels will do no harm at all to Allah, and Allah will reward the grateful. And no soul can die but with Allah's permission. The term is fixed, and whoever desires the reward of this world, we give him of it. And whoever desires the reward of the hereafter, we give him of it. And we shall reward the grateful. I'm with God, So that's why I don't chase money. I don't. I chase what's right, Will I have money? Yes, I will. But I don't let that be my ruler because it changes the whole perspective of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Am I going to make money? Yes, I am. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not. But I already know I'm going to do that, because I work hard for that. But I don't let it, overtake me, I don't let the thought of it overtake me on my way to obtain it, if that makes sense, because I don't want to be overpowered with greed, for the motivation why I do everything I do, And how many a prophet has fought with whom were many worshipers of the Lord. So they did not lose heart on account of that which befell them in Allah's way, nor did they weaken, nor did they abase themselves. And Allah loves the steadfast. I'm steadfast. Even if I make mistakes, I just say, hey, I made a mistake, whatever. And I just go through the shame of whatever it is, and I just keep my head up and keep going anyway. I'm not going to let my mistakes stop me, because we all fall short, everybody. So I'm at the point right now where I don't, I can overlook a lot of feedback from people, because if it's not helping me to become a better person or get where I want to be, and it's just nothing but negative and tearing down, I'm not even gonna fool with behavior like that from people. You know, I'm gonna cut them out of my life immediately as soon as I can. You know, because I have positive energy, and I work really hard, and I'm a very honest person, and I'm trying to do God's will. Doesn't make me perfect. I like to kick it like everybody sometimes, you know, but there's a cutoff point, you know, and I'm very responsible. I don't care what nobody says. They don't have. I know who I am, you know. And their cry was only that they said, "Oh Lord, grant us protection from our sins and our extravagance and our affair, and make firm our feet and grant us victory over the disbelieving people." So Allah gave them the reward of the world and a good reward of the hereafter. And Allah loves the doers of good to others. I love God. I do. I do. I don't care what no one says. You know, you know, I don't. I don't care if I made mistakes. I do make mistakes. But I don't let that keep me from God. Don't you let it. You know, don't let what other people's negative feedback, you know, change you from your love for God. You know, even if you made mistakes, you know, change. You know, if you're still alive, God giving you a chance to change. Doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with the consequence for your behavior. Of course you do, good or bad. But I would rather, if I had to go through some bad consequences, I'd rather have God be on God's team. You know, and just learn as a lesson. You know, just change though. You know, stop being so devilish out here. It's not that serious.